And we are live, I think. Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. So, today I've got a few things to talk about. I just need to. Stream seems really laggy, video wise. Let me see if I can sort that out. Uh, is that better? I think we're all good. I think that's sorted it out then. Right. Right. Let's get on. Welcome to the new studio. Well, it's not a new studio, really. It's just the same, the same room, but from a different angle. But I think it looks better with. I think it looks better with this angle, anyway. So I just need to post a link in the chat, and I'm going to cover a few things. And every week, what I'm going to do is cover. I'm just going to cover the crypto market, what's going on, give you my thoughts, show you a few things that will hopefully help you. Rather than kind of just going in on one topic, to be fair. So I've got that in the chat. If you want to book a call, if you want to know how I monetize my assets, and if you want to join the Telegram, I hope those links work. No idea if they do, but anyway. And I just need to double check that I'm live on Kick, not that anybody cares, because it's not really the. And I just need to double check we're live on X, and then we're ready to go. I think 99% of people are just watching YouTube. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's just from YouTube. Right, so the crypto market is doing shit. And there's various reasons that it's doing shit, to be honest. The main one obviously being that we're in a bear market, so it's going to do shit in a bear market. And the unfortunate thing, like I keep saying to a lot of people, is if you have a shit coin, then you're in deep shit, because the shit coins aren't going to survive. They'll just grind down to nothing, unfortunately. So, there's, I mean, what's this on? That's the month. Oh, no, sorry. Had some pump and dumps. Never heard of them in my life. Although I think this one actually. Oh, no. I thought it was ton, but it's. Is that right? There's no way that's right. Is that what used to be ton coin? I'm not having that's correct. Yeah, it didn't look like that chart. It's doubled in price. But it was that there anyway. I don't know what the incorrect chart is on here, because that is incorrect. This is incorrect. Don't know what that is. So this figure that it's showing on here, 166,000% is incorrect. But the majority is down. So if we go over to CoinGecko, 17,000 coins. Now, if you look at CoinGecko, there's 17,000 coins in circulation. But if you go on CoinMarketCap, I think there's like 3 million or something stupid. So which one is right? I don't know. So we go on CoinMarketCap. You scroll. You see it, look, at the bottom. You can't see it because I'm in the way. One sec. How do I remove me? You can't really see it on the screen. There, you might be able to see it. So Coin Market Cap says there is 53 million cryptos in existence and 950 exchanges. I bet when I first heard of crypto, there was less than 950 coins. But if we look at CoinGecko, there's 17,414 coins and 1,487 exchanges. Again, take the information with a pinch of salt. Which one is 100% correct? I don't know, to be honest. Now, have we hit the bottom is a question people will be saying. And when actually is the bottom? And I went through this last week when I went on the one I look at is the total crypto market cap. So trading view, this top one here, total crypto market cap. Here we are. And this is what I was looking at last time. And usually what happens is you've got, to recap, a Bitcoin halving, 77 to 78 weeks, then the top of the market, then a bear market. Bitcoin halving, 77 to 78 weeks to the top of the market, bear market. Bitcoin halving, 77 to 78 weeks to the Bitcoin top. It's happened every single time in a row. And if we were to project what is going to happen, this is where we're at now. And I think we worked out last time that the bottom of the market is roughly, you can see it there, the bottom of the market is roughly 1 year after the top of the market. So if we were to project that going forward, it projects that the bottom of the market, if the top was October, will be October 26. So will it be lower than now? I don't know. The bottom of the market could be, and bear in mind this is total crypto market cap, not specifically Bitcoin. And this is an interesting comment. So the bottom will be exactly the moment everyone thinks we've had the bottom. Probably Jan-Feb 2027. October, too obvious. You could say that. But do you remember this, my friend? Was this not obvious? You know? I'm not saying it's exactly going to be then, but people looked to this and said, well, that's too obvious. It's too obvious that this will happen. And that's what happened. So you've got these specific dates, you've got a specific cycle, and we always seem to have the rally starting when the US election is. And if you want to know exact dates, if you look at the US election, that happens every 4 years. I'm actually surprised the US one happens nicely every time. Whereas like the UK is just screwed. Yeah, so there you go. Round about this time. And remember everything going crazy when this happened? And then we had a lot of all-time highs between the election and 2025. Remember XRP going crazy at this particular point. Yeah, this is good. I mean, DCN is the way, to be honest with you. You know, DCN is the way for me. So why is the market also shit at the moment? There's always something. There's just stuff like this happening. Besides, you know, your friends not talking about crypto. When they're all talking about crypto, you know it's a market top. When none of them are talking about crypto, which they're not at the moment, you know it is getting near the bottom because nobody thinks it's good, and everyone's deserted it. No one's speaking about it, and that is the way it is. So, Michael Saylor, who famously said that he will never sell a single Bitcoin. And if you didn't know Michael Saylor, he set up his company. And his company was originally called MicroStrategy. And the whole idea of it, I mean, it did other stuff before. I don't know exactly what it did before, to be honest with you. It was shit before. So he's obviously changed tack to buy Bitcoin. And what he's done is the company buys Bitcoin. It hoovers up Bitcoin. It issues shares. People buy into it in the hope that the shares outperform Bitcoin, which in theory, and I'll get a chart up, they did for quite a time. So I think there was like a 20% markup on it. So if we look for strategy, there's also another one that he does as well that is gone to shit, which I'll show you. Stocks, strategy. Right, let's just make this easier for you to see. We'll go for a week. Right. So that's strategy. And then we're going to add Bitcoin over it. So Bitcoin is in blue. Yeah. And if we look at last 5 years, you know, look at this massive, look at that for strategy. You know, outperforming pretty much like in line with Bitcoin here, and then just goes crazy around this period, which was US election time. It just took off. And, you know, at one point, you've got 100% more ROI in strategy than BTC. But now it's obviously dipped. If we go year to date, let's have a look. Doing worse. So Bitcoin's down 35%, MicroStrategy down 45%. And it is because the guy that said, I'm never going to sell Bitcoin, and this is the chart. Oh, no, sorry, this is the other one I'm going to talk about. There was an article that I got up here. So he's preparing to sell up to $1.25 billion worth of crypto. Michael Saylor's strategy takes a highly unusual step. This is yesterday. The sell-off has rattled companies with large Bitcoin exposure. Among the hardest hit has been Michael Saylor's strategy, whose common and preferred shares have come under significant pressure as the company's Bitcoin-backed funding model faces growing scrutiny. Against that backdrop, Strategy said in June 29 filing that it may sell up to $1.52 billion worth of Bitcoin, making it another significant shift in the company's capital strategy as it attempts to strengthen its balance sheet. The sale would be used to bolster its cash value, which is 2.55 billion. The company said any Bitcoin sales will be made from time to time, depending on market conditions, capital needs, and other strategic considerations. Which, people are obviously pissed off at this guy because, he was the Bitcoin guy. He was the Bitcoin guy that basically said, over a set period of time, whatever it is, every month, every couple of months, it seems like it was that often, he is going to buy Bitcoin. But he also said, I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin. I'm never going to sell it. No one should sell the Bitcoin. And it's more do as I say, not as I do. So unfortunately, that is something that has happened. And you've got the strategy, year to date down, but also the other strategy, which this one was like the high yield one, where they tried to keep the price around 100, and they would pay you a yield around 10 to 12% or whatever a year for you holding it. And that's gone to shit now. The lowest it went to was 74. And obviously 100 was what they were looking at keeping it at, which isn't good, unfortunately, because, strategy is a big reason that a lot of not non-crypto, but boomers or people that liked to have exposure to something in crypto without actually buying crypto, because they trust holding stocks in the portfolio, the fiat portfolios, or whatever it is, stocks and shares ISA in the UK, rather than buying crypto. So that's a big reason. And it's obviously painful when you look back through these, and it doesn't get any. Oh, well, that's the other thing I wanted to mention as well. BlackRock as well. I read an article that BlackRock want to maybe get more Bitcoin to accelerate past Michael Saylor, but I don't know. I don't know if that was just speculation. But yeah, anyway, if we look at some coins, and unfortunately, there's so many like this. People are losing money. People are losing money, unfortunately. And, if you look at a lot of these coins compared to BTC that is even down, they're just not doing anything. So what I would say is, if you are stuck and you're thinking it is a bear market at the moment, how can I make money? First thing I would say is ignore trending, ignore top gainers, ignore memes, ignore anything. If all you're going to do is just look what to DCA into, just start from number one, which is BTC, and work your way downwards. Whilst working your way downwards, look at the chart before you even do anything, before you research the company, before you watch a YouTube price, but don't watch YouTube price prediction videos. Is look at a chart that has clear evidence of bull runs within them, and has there been a recent all-time high? Recent being in the bull run, which is in between a half in, so 24 onwards. So if you were looking at this coin, for example, I'm not saying buy it, just giving you an example, you would look through and you would say, right, this is down 60% from all-time high, so there's a 60% discount. However, in the recent bull run, it had an all-time high. And the thesis you would go by that is the same as Bitcoin. Every bull run, so you look at this, every bull run, there's a new all-time high for Bitcoin. Every new bull run, there's an all-time high for Ethereum. So in theory, this coin, and again, I'm not saying buy it, do more research. I'm not a big fan of it, I will say. Don't like exchange coins. Is in theory, this chart looks okay, right? And you can get it 60% discount than it was at its all-time high. However, if you go down here and you find a token, and bear in mind, this is, it's better, in my opinion, to look at coins that have been around for a long time because you're just gambling otherwise. But if you look at, like we just did then, sorry, Algorand holders, it's hard to know because of that start of it. Let's get a different one up. Trying to think of one that's been around for ages. Filecoin, maybe. How old's this? Yeah, so this is a prime example, right? No matter how many shitty price prediction videos you watch, like this is clearly dead. So it doesn't matter how much you DCA into something like this. It's down 99.7%. The all-time high was April Fool's Day, which is even funnier. 5 years ago, plus. And there's a clear difference between this shitcoin and the one we looked at, which is BNB. Clear difference. So if you're looking to put some cash into something, it'd be wise not to do it into this. And the other side of that is, if you've got a coin, all-time high, half a decade ago, down 99.7%, ask yourself, why would it go up? That is the unfortunate thing. Right, let's get on to another question. Even liquidity pools are very slow right now, but have you heard about DexFi? They give good APR. Now, let's have a look. Let's have a look. See, anything that's auto is just going to drain your wallet. I'm not saying they're going to steal your funds, but this will cost you some of your profits or less. Let's have a look. See that. See, the issue with this is they're all total value locks. They're all like 100K is the highest, and like the lowest. Like, look, the first one's 100K. Second one is 20. Click on bonds. Let's have a look. See, the issue with this is I don't know how 100% this is DeFi. Like, what is this going to? Is this a decentralized platform? The issue I have is how long is it bonded for? And to be honest, like, is it ETH you're minting? I'd have to look into this, but yeah, it's just not sure about this, to be honest. And to just go back to the earlier thing where you were saying liquidity pools are very slow. And if you're wondering what this site is, I put a link in the thing. VFAT, there's a link just to make sure you don't get a dodgy one. So this is VFAT, and VFAT is a yield aggregator. With liquidity pools, what it means is you've got various DeFi platforms, Uniswap, Aerodrome, QuickSwap. They're all listed on here, PancakeSwap. And this aggregates them all into one platform. So it's a lot easier for you. And then what you can do with that is connect your wallet from whatever, hot wallet you have, MetaMask, Rabi wallet. And then what you can do is then what I like about it is it's your choice, right? So rather than being something that is set, it's your choice what you enter, right? Now, obviously, if you enter a shit pool, you're probably going to get burned. But it's just billions and billions locked in these. So if we sort this by TVL, you can see the top ones. So if you've got, like we mentioned before, BNB, we've got ETH ones, ETH USDT, right? Even if you look at ETH, if we scroll, there will be some decent APRs in here, right? And you probably will get in and around what that other one was offering, which is like 50%. But the idea is that if you do this for long enough, you will reap the rewards of both sides of the coin, which is when it's slow and when the liquidity pools are fast. What do I mean by that? It's a market that goes up and down all the time. And then it's all dependent on the volume. So there's going to be extra volume when it goes up, extra volume when it goes down. And if you set some decent ranges, you shouldn't have to worry too much about the price. And even if it goes out of range, you should have earned more back from the pool than you put in. Right? And again, I went into another strategy, which was here, for example, all you do is buy more Bitcoin. So you're exposed to Bitcoin, take the loan back in USDC and chuck it into liquidity pool to earn monthly income. Then with that monthly income, you can buy more BTC and the process repeats and repeats. And this way, you're not reliant really on prices. The only thing you worry about is just your liquidity pool ticking on and on and on. And does it matter if what price Bitcoin is now? Not really. But all you need to kind of be aware of is, the price of Bitcoin long term, based on historical prices, should go up. So the LTV will go up. This will go up in time. And if you're using the earnings from your liquidity pool, you're just stacking Bitcoin. You don't need to worry about what price XRP is, what price this shitcoin is, blah, blah, blah. All you need to worry about is put your assets in here, generate yield, put it into Bitcoin, keep building, keep building, keep building. So you actually get to a point, and it's kind of like saving for a pension, that your yield pays you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever. And you can live off it. You can live off it. And I mentioned in another video how easy this is to spend your crypto. And I mean, you don't even have to do liquidity pools to take advantage of this. It is easy to spend your crypto. Because people say, oh, why spend my crypto? Blah, blah, blah. Well, if you have a liquidity pool, then it just is free money, not free money. It is in a way. And I tried this the other day. It works well. Just for your Apple Pay. You can settle it in stable coins or any other coin. And again, if you don't want to do that, Coinbase have one. It means keeping some of it on an exchange, but I know some people don't trust non-custodial. There's also Kraken as well. And theirs is called Crack. Stupid name, but and those are the same, where you send your crypto to your wallet and spend it. Pretty easy to do as well. Others like Revolut. It's another one. There's plenty. There's plenty that you can do. The idea that I want to get to, though, is that too many people in crypto spend every day worrying about the price of their altcoins. And don't get me wrong, I have some alts, but the main thing for me going forward is to stack some Bitcoin in DeFi, earn liquidity, earn yield from liquidity pools, and just keep stacking it. And it's a flywheel that just keeps going and going and going, and you just keep earning more and more and more. And it's up to you if you want to keep hold of some of these coins. There may be no point selling them, you know? There may be no point in selling them, unfortunately. And I think what people get drawn into too much with the crypto is the price prediction videos or the partnerships that they always say, like, there was one about Avalanche. I think it was last year or the year before. Avalanche is partnered with Amazon. And then all you saw online on YouTube was people talking about Avalanche partnering with Amazon as though he's going to pump the price, blah, blah. And if you ask someone on the street, they won't have a clue what Avalanche is. They still won't have a clue what Avalanche is. And anytime you see this on videos, what you need to do is just have a quick look about what they're talking about. So I'm just trying to Google it now. There's not even anything on here. Partnership. Here we go. The Avalanche Amazon partnership established in January 23 is a collaboration between Ava Labs and Amazon Web Services. And all this actually was something that any company could apply for. So any company, is that in Rome? Any company could apply for this. So just because it says that doesn't necessarily mean that they've had a official partnership agreement and no one else can have one. They've just participated in a free program. I remember looking into it, and there's that many times when I see you see it mainly with stuff like XRP, no offense to any XRP holders, where it's the daily videos that hype people up that this coin is going to go crazy, and it just never does. And unfortunately, I would say for some people, you're the fool if you still believe them. If you still believe, if you still have a XRP hat, you have a t-shirt, you have all the merch for XRP, thinking that it's going to go to 1K. If you understand that that particular coin is just playing out exactly like the others, i.e., every cycle, should get an all-time high. It got to $3.65 in July 25, a year ago. So, on the basis of that, what's it going to reach in the next bull run? Maybe $10, which is obviously like a 9x from where we are now. But it's not reaching the stupid price predictions that they say. And this is unfortunately why people ape in and get annoyed and never sell their crypto and round trip. You can't round trip with liquidity pools because it's paying you, right? Another thing is, if you believe in your coin, so let's just say you're like, right, Matt, I understand what you're saying, but I think Solana is going to go to the moon. I understand what you're saying, Matt. I understand what you said about Avalanche, but I think Avalanche is going to go to the moon, right? Right, well, fair enough. If you think this coin is going to go to the moon, use some in liquidity pools to get more then. You're in the bear market. This is the ideal time to acquire more of it. So as well as DCAing, why not get more? I don't think that's going to happen, but that's my opinion, isn't it? But if, doing that helps you attain more crypto that you want, then that's surely a win, or to recoup some losses that you've had in some coins. And a lot of people still ask me, why do you not keep your crypto on exchanges? And where'd you keep your crypto? I literally, I've said this a lot. I have some hardware wallets. I have a Ledger, a Trezor, and I just have them in a security deposit box. And when I want to send stuff to it, I just send stuff to it. And it's good because it's out of the way. I can't touch it. The easiest one I found under the video on this is Tangent. This was so easier to set up than the others because Ledger, you have a little shitty thing and you have to press all the black and white buttons. It's shit, in my opinion. Tangent was just a lot easier. So I keep it on there. And obviously I've got a couple of hot wallets to interact with DeFi, etc. If you keep your crypto, and I'm not saying this is going to happen to Coinbase, but we all thought when we got involved with something called Celsius Network that our crypto was safe with them. That Alex Mashinsky, the CEO of Celsius, said, banks are not your friends. And he offered some high yield to keep you enticed with Celsius Network. And a lot of people lost a lot of money. It's the same with FTX, if you've heard of that. Was BlockFi another one? Yep, so BlockFi. This one went bust 2022. Then you have Celsius Network. This went bust in July 22. And then we have FTX. And these weren't small. I mean, if you look at FTX, this guy I think he's in prison still. Look, revenue was 1 billion. These aren't small institutions. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen to Coinbase, but this is why I don't trust it. This is why it's DeFi. And people will say, well, what about DeFi? What about hacks? Blah, blah, blah. Just spread what you're doing across multiple wallets, multiple pools, blah, blah, blah. That's how you do it. Right? You've got to take some kind of risk, in my opinion. But if it's your keys, your coins, that is, in my opinion, safer than putting it on a platform. And anything that you get involved with, check it out on DeFi Llama. There's 70 billion locked in DeFi at the moment. These are all the top ones. Have a look. And again, this is why I use VFAT as well, because rather than pissing about going through all these, and then you can type on this. You can look at the individual ones. So if you were to go on, so if we go back to VFAT, and you're looking through these, you're like, right, what is this here? What is this on? What is the total value locked? What platforms are these? What are the pools? What is it using? Yeah, if you're searching through this, oh look, Uniswap. Let me go to DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama, Uniswap. Providing you hadn't heard of it. Oh look, $3 billion worth are locked in here. Interesting. Oh, look at the revenue. Yeah. Another question I get asked is, what happens if the DeFi platform you're interacting with goes bust? So let's say we'll go through both of them. If you're on VFAT, what happens if VFAT website goes down? Nothing happens to your crypto. It's still initiated by smart contracts, right? And the amount of value locked in all these and the amount of people that use this, I guarantee within 48 hours max, you would have someone that would be able to build a quick user interface for you to then connect your wallet and then extract your funds. And it's the same with, so that's VFAT, and the exact same would happen with Uniswap, for example. So if Uniswap went down, you had your crypto in that, the same thing would happen. Someone would build a user interface and do it. And it's the same thing with the wallets. It's the same thing with anything really in crypto. What happens if Tantrum goes down? What happens if Ledger goes down? What happens if, whatever goes down? How can I access my crypto? Someone, because the amount of money involved, the amount of value locked, someone would create the user interface for you to just get into it. That's what would happen. There has been hacks before, but with DeFi, it's kind of we've stood it. Aave, there was a token on here that was hacked, but Aave still exists, still going strong, and that is why you look at in DeFi to mitigate any risk is high total value locked, and the same with any kind of platforms that you're using. But what I would say is everything is your choice. I'm not the boss, I don't know how much money you need per month. I don't know what your risk appetite is. I don't know what you're saving for. I don't know what you want to do with your money. But what I can do is teach you how it works, give you some strategies, and obviously that's what we teach in the group, etc. If you want to book a call, there will be a link. If not in this description, if it don't work, there'll be in one of the other videos anyway. So yeah, I use VFAT because it aggregates everything. It is easy to use, and that is why I pair it up with. I like stuff that's easy to use. That's why I use VFAT. That's why I use Tangent. That's why I use the MetaMask spending card. You can connect them all together. Easy to use. And that's what it's all about, simplicity. Keeping stuff simple and adapting to the market. People will say, well, why are you now onto DeFi? Why are you now onto liquidity pools? It's just adapting to the market, right? In 2025, I mentioned some coins that I took profits on. Kita, still got some of that, obviously. Aave, took some profits on that. But nothing went up as much as we thought. The Bitcoin that I've had has gone up, which is good. But let's be honest, there wasn't a altcoin season like previous. So for me personally, I didn't want to just sit out 2026 watching everything go down. Obviously DCAing, but once I looked at these platforms, I already knew about DeFi before, but once, and the guys in the group, Parker is the one that kind of showed me through everything back end of last year and showed me how it all worked especially VFAT, which is easy. I understood liquidity pools, but I didn't know how to use VFAT, but obviously I do now. It's just, for me, the way to go in crypto at the moment. There is no trading, there is no waiting, and it makes crypto fun again because you go through here, find your cryptos that you've got or you want to use, and then it's up to you how you play the game. You know, how do you want to play the game? You go on here, all you do is you put the amount of ETH you want to put in, you set your ranges, and then that will affect the APR that you get out of it. Put your crypto in, boom, you start earning straight away, test a few pools, and then you earn yield back on your crypto. So, yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the stream today. I'm going to do more like this where we cover a lot of the market. If you have any questions or comments, just put them in the chat afterwards. And more videos coming from me this week. More live streams coming every single week. Just watching, guys, and I'll see you all very soon.